Sick and tired of your love-hate relationship with wine?
Welcome to the Feel It Alcohol-Free podcast. Hi, I'm Coach Ruby Williams.
And I'm Coach Susan Larkin.
We're two former wine lovers turned alcohol freedom coaches, exposing the lies about alcohol.
And giving you, our listeners, the tools to break free so you can feel lit.
And when you're lit, you'll feel healthier, freer, and more in control of your life.
So relax, kick back, and get ready to feel lit alcohol-free. Hey, welcome back. Super excited to be here recording the pod on Friday mornings. I know the pod drops on Tuesdays for you all, but we record on Fridays.
Yeah, happy Friday. Happy Tuesday, whatever, whenever you're listening.
So I wanted to give a shout out to my co-host Ruby because we record on Friday mornings. So Miss Ruby gets up and we start meeting at like 9 a.m. Eastern time, which is 6 a.m. Ruby time. And so
I'm a morning person.
So you are a morning person. I used to think I was, but I don't know. So today we have a really great topic that I think so many people are going to relate to. I know I relate to it. So we have a listener's question and I'm going to read it, but it's about not shoulding on ourselves.
Yes.
And I know I second guess myself. I should all the time. And it's just, that's something I fall into and I have to be really careful. When I feel my mood going down, I can kind of look to what are those red flags of what's going on in my brain. And a lot of times it's, I should have done this. I should have done that. Literally, even just driving somewhere, I shouldn't have gone this way. I should have gone a different way. It's faster, blah, blah, blah. And it's just like, oh, that constant chatter, right? And it just brings your whole mood down, makes you feel bad about yourself. And so the question we have from our listener is, I'm 61 years old. Why do I keep shoulding on myself? I should be happy. I should be further along in life. I should have a handle on my drinking. Right?
Totally relate. Yeah, me too. All of those, we call them like negative thoughts. I just want to I really relate. I want to give you more examples. Like I should go to the gym. I should eat healthier. I should be more productive. I should spend less time on social media. I should wake up earlier. Or I should stop procrastinating. So there's things that you should do or should stop doing. I mean, it's like this constant, we have like 50 to 70,000 thoughts a day. And oftentimes it's this shoulding on ourselves. And I laughed so hard when I first heard that, I think years ago, that phrase, stop shoulding on yourself.
Yes, because it sounds like another SH word.
Right, which we just did, the F word.
Yeah, so this is the SH word.
Yeah, so we're doing bad words right now, you guys.
Bad word series.
Bad word series, I like it. But shoulds just are like adding unnecessary pressure and creating kind of a negative mindset, right? Should. And these when you have we'll just call it negative, even though I don't know how much I like that word anymore, but when you have these negative should thoughts and you're creating kind of this negative then feelings in your body, right? Because your thoughts inform your feelings or your feelings inform your thoughts, but then it creates the behavior. So, and can lead to feelings of, like the ones that I mentioned above and what our listener mentioned. I should be happy. I should be further along. I should have a handle on my drinking, or I should be going to the gym even. It might create sadness. It might create dread. It might create overwhelm, like all of these heavy, heavy feelings, which then inform your behaviors. So I see this as you guys, if you're watching on YouTube, but it's almost like a triangle. There's the thoughts and the feelings and the behaviors. It's spinning around. It's going in different directions. It's informing each other. And we often will say the behaviors could be fight, flight, or freeze. You've probably heard that before. And I always like to add a fourth one of withdrawal. That is actually a behavior too. So you're having the thoughts, the should thoughts, and then it could lead to wanting to just numb these feelings, these really heavy feelings, and which can lead to drinking, right?
Yeah.
I mean, that's my story. I wanted to avoid my negative thoughts, all these negative emotions, which I'm going to call them just like heavy thoughts or heavy emotions. And shoulds was a big part of it. Should. And I definitely said I should have a handle on my drinking. Like,
oh my gosh.
I said that almost every day. Like,
yes.
And that's putting it on me. Like when I work with clients and we work with clients around this, like I should have a handle on my drinking. It's that, am I an alcohol? It goes to like the label, right?
Yeah.
Like that I have the problem, me, rather than the alcohol's the problem. And actually, I was normal. I was a normal person, that my brain was working normally, but alcohol is addictive. So yeah, that's a little bit of my story. We'll talk more about this, but yeah, what about you, Susan?
Yeah, well, I love the word heavy thoughts versus negative. But really what's happening is you're saying something should be the way it isn't in reality. And so it's creating cognitive dissonance. And so we've talked about this before, and that's like creating a fight in your brain. And that causes pain, and our brain, we know, doesn't like pain. It runs towards pleasure. And so then that causes you to maybe want relief. And so if you're constantly in this mindset of should, it's basically a judgment against ourselves. We're constantly, judging ourselves. And when I work with clients, we talk about that's a lever we can pull to feel so much better, right? Is just starting again with our pillars, with awareness, just starting to get aware of, are these just these constant automatic negative thoughts, right? That are constantly this chatter going on in my head, just even around stupid things, or not, I wouldn't say stupid, but for me, I will say stupid because I'm just constantly, it's like, I went this way to the store and then, I should have gone that way because it's faster. It's like, how is that helpful? I'm not going that way. I'm already going this way. Is it really matter? But it's just so automatic for me to just constantly be judging everything I'm doing. And so it's been real work for me to become aware of it. And then what can I do about it? How can I change that? So the first step is awareness. And then the second step is self-compassion again, our other pillar, because if we're always beating ourselves up and being so mean to ourselves, then that, again, it causes that pain that then leads to wanting relief, AKA drinking. Because all of these create shame and guilt and negative thoughts about ourselves. And that can really lead to the effits, right? About any of those things you mentioned, I should be going to the gym more. How does that make you feel? Does that make you feel like getting up and going to the gym? Or does it make you feel like saying, well, F it, I'm just going to sit on the couch and eat some Fritos? Makes me want to sit on the couch and eat Fritos. I don't know about you, but
yeah, that word should is so heavy. I think heavy is,
yeah. So how can we change that around? How can we say, instead of I should go to the gym more often, or I should have a handle on my drinking, maybe just asking ourselves that magic question, is it true? How, like you said, is it true that I should have a handle on my drinking? Alcohol is an addictive substance. Would anybody say that about their smoking? I should have a handle on my smoking. No, we all go, no, we realize that smoking is super addictive and it's really hard. Tobacco is an addictive substance. And so, so maybe we would change that to, I want to work on quitting smoking, or I want to work on, creating an environment where it's easier for me to get to the gym. Or one of the things that James Clear talks about in Atomic Habits, instead of like, I should work out more, you could ask yourself more of an identity-based question, like what would a fit person do? I was doing that so I used to work on the third floor, and I used to enter the basement. So it was really 4 flights of stairs up to my office. And I would come in the door every morning. And of course you have the option to take the elevator. And I would just say, what would a fit person do? A fit person would take the stairs.
I love that. I've done that before too. Like, what would a thin person do? Well, they would probably eat half of their lunch and take half of it to go for lunch tomorrow, for example. Yeah. When I love that you said, Susan, awareness is truly the first step, because
It is.
you cannot change what you are not aware of.
Right.
So what I love to say, I'm going to say a few things. It's all like, I want to say so much right now. This topic is like so interesting. But just I'm going to say this twice so it'll sink in. Okay. When you say the word should, you are not living in reality.
Right.
So when you say the word should, you are not living in reality, because in reality, you'd be doing the thing, right? So let's just use, I love the gym example. So I should be going to the gym. Okay. People only do what they want to do. So if you're not doing the thing, like going to the gym, then you don't actually want to do it. And it can totally just be a mindset. And it can be, it could, okay. So sometimes I work with clients and we'll start with, well, what's another way of looking at the gym? Or what's another word? What do you want to do to move your body? How do you want to feel when you go to the gym? Like you dig into like, well, if you go to the gym, you want to feel strong or flexible or more in shape, whatever, like, and how do you want to feel then in your body? Well, I want to feel good in my body. Well, maybe the gym is not the right, like if you're not going to the gym. So there's lots of ways to look at this. You can either decide that, well, I don't actually want to go to the gym. I want to go swimming, and then so we start to, with coaching, ask lots of different questions to see what you actually want to do. And if it is going to the gym, then maybe we might work on tiny steps. Put on your gym shoes, maybe drive to the gym. Like you take tiny little steps to get there to create a new habit. Yeah. And then the other thing, well, I'll let you share on that, and then I have one more idea. Yeah.
So well, even taking I should have a handle on my drinking.
Yeah.
How is that helping you move forward? It's just making you feel like crap about yourself.
Right.
And then it makes you just feel defeated. So a lot of times what we're saying into this thought turnaround model. And so it's, the thought, I should be going to the gym more. How does that make you, or thought, I should have a handle on my drinking. How does that make you feel? Defeated. How does that make you behave? Well, it makes me want to drink, or I just go, well, who cares? And I shared that was part of my story. I just kept saying, who cares? And just engaging in that automatic behavior of just drinking every night. Right. So how do you turn that thought around? What is a different thought that's going to create a different feeling of more determination, and we don't even have to use the word positive. It's more of something that's going to help you do the thing you want to do, right? Yeah. So what's a different thought? Could be, I am willing to take one baby step towards changing my relationship with alcohol today. And then it's like, well, how does that feel? That's like a ladder thought. Well, that makes you feel like, okay, yeah, wow, I want to do this. I'm going to do one little thing.
And if you can turn it around to almost anything up, as you said, ladder thought, it can create hope for the future.
Yeah, I want to change my drinking.
Yeah, right there.
Okay.
But the other question I use a lot of time in coaching with shoulds is who says. A should. I know. Oftentimes a should. Who said that? Oh, is that your father back when you were 10? Or is that your teacher's voice? Who says, or is that just you society? Should? Yeah, or society.
Culture. Yeah.
So it's really, there's so many ways we can go with these like automatic negative thoughts. But my tip for awareness is getting a rubber band. It could be a hair tie if you're a woman, or just a grocery bag rubber band. And you might be driving around. That's why I love the rubber band, because you can even do it in the shower. You can just have it on you, and you're driving around, and all of a sudden you hear a should, like you said, we should have taken a different route. Or I should be farther along in my alcohol-free journey, whatever. You snap it, not to hurt yourself, but like awareness, like really awareness. And then, you might want to have like a little should, or a little negative thoughts journal. I mean, you could write it down. If you're driving though, you might have to see it as a sentence, but once you like actually write it down or see it, you can really start to play with the different words that we call them turnarounds again, or reframes, or just a different mindset that, and again, we're not talking toxic positivity. We're not saying, oh, just be super happy about it. Or, it's about really shifting to create more hope, or because I'll say it again, we only do what we want to do, to shift it so that you might want to do it.
Yeah.
Did I explain that well enough, Susan?
Yeah. And I think you've shared the rubber band technique, which I think is really awesome. And the one that I share with clients is to set a timer, because sometimes people aren't even aware of what they're thinking. So just even to start going, hey, what am I even thinking right now? Or using your feelings as a red flag. Also, if you're really feeling low, you can just be like, wait a minute, what am I thinking right now? But just to practice is set a timer, and then in that moment say, okay, when the timer goes off, what am I thinking? Just to start to become aware of whatever the background music of thoughts are in your life, because that's just a starting point. Sometimes we're not even aware that we're shooting ourselves. We don't even hear that sentence. We're not even attuned to what the silent voice in our brain is constantly chattering at us. So that's sort of a pre-thought, a pre-tool before even using the rubber band. Then when you start to become aware of your thoughts, when you start to recognize them using the rubber band, starting to do turnarounds, or even asking yourself, how is this thought even helpful? Like, I'm driving to the store and I'm beating myself up because I went a different way and it's slower or whatever. Like, how is that thought even helpful? Like, just turn up the music, sing a song, get to the store when you get there. Like, I don't know, but, and the other thing that came to mind when you were sharing too is the thought, I should be further along, or I should be further along in handling my drinking. I mean, that's just complete BS, right? Because, and that's cultural. That's coming from that message of drink responsibly. So who says, going back to your, who says you should be able to control your drinking? Who says you should be able to control an addictive substance? It's like, why can't you control your smoking? Why can't you just stick to one cigarette a day? Well, because it's addictive, people would say, right? And that's the same for alcohol. So that is this idea of controlling our drinking, controlling an addictive substance is just complete BS, right?
And if you go back to the listener, she's 61. And how long have you been drinking? I oftentimes, maybe you've been drinking for decades, and it takes time to change your thinking. It truly is a journey that can take a lot of time to do this work, do this thought work, do the feeling work, just to start to become alcohol free, to where it's small and irrelevant. This is what many people want. They just want alcohol to be a non-issue and not even take it or leave it, because, well, when I work with clients, we eventually get to, they don't even want to take it. Like, they don't want to go back to being what we were, we have lots of episodes on normal drinker, but, who says, there's any amount, the more and more studies keep coming out that it's definitely causing cancer, and it's not, even one drop is not good. So
there's no healthy amount of alcohol, period. It's definitive. It's scientifically proven. The World Health Organization, the American Heart Association, the Surgeon General now, there is no healthy amount of alcohol, period. So why should we be trying to control an addictive substance? I don't know. Yeah. So good. So good.
It's about setting small, positive, realistic goals too. So when we go back to when I was sharing about the little micro commitments, or little tiny habits. I love the BJ Fogg's tiny habits. You do something small and then you can build on it. Or if you go to Atomic Habits, where you habit stack. There's so many ways. So when you work with a coach, y'all listeners, we can help you so much. First of all, have a positive mindset around hope and getting you to that wanting to. And then also just little helping you with like ways and tools and tactics to to get you to do the thing you really want to do. The ultimate goal is feeling better, feeling lit, right?
Yeah, feeling lit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love that. Yeah, because is it, like you said, Ruby, do you want to go to the gym? Is that your exercise of choice? Right? If you don't want to do it, then
you're not going to do it.
Then you're not going to do it. Yeah,
or you might go for a week, you know?
Yeah. So maybe you should be playing pickleball, or maybe you should be,
Really, these are the kinds of questions you go, do you
swimming.
like team sports? Do you like classes? What is it? Or singular things like swimming, or, or do you like water? Like, if I was to say you have to go swim every day, Susan, and you're like, I don't even like to put my head underwater. That's me, because I know I swim in the ocean, but I don't put my head under the water that much because I get earaches.
Okay.
As soon as I swim in the pool or in an ocean, I immediately get like an earache. It's so I'm like the one that puts my hair up, and I'll splash water on my face, but I'm like,
not putting my head under.
I'm not going to, if someone were to say that, it's not something I'm going to do. Yeah. So maybe you've heard a podcast, okay, here's another example. This is hilarious, Susan. I heard about the 5 a.m. club, which is funny. I'm a 5 a.m. clubber now, but I was like, I read the book and I heard the concept, and I was like, I should wake up at 5 a.m. every day. And right when I said the should, there was no flipping way. I couldn't do it. I couldn't get my body up out of bed. But now that I want to, and I've changed my identity, and it's taken time, but now it's a joy to get up at 5 a.m. Like, I mean, I really love it. It's no dread. No. So it's so much about the mindset, huh?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
absolutely. And so we go back to the pillars: awareness, self-compassion. How is this thought even helpful? Or having compassion, who says? Mm-hmm. Where is this thought coming from? Why am I beating myself up?
And curiosity, asking those questions. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that, and it's not going to change overnight. Also having that compassion for yourself of like, I'm a work in progress. I'm working on my shoulding. And also noticing, like for me, you work on something and then sometimes it comes back because it is just, like all of a sudden recently it's been coming back for me, and I'm having to go like, why am I doing this to myself? Yeah. And then just still having, and instead of being like, oh, I'm a coach, I shouldn't be doing this, I know better. Again, how is that helping me? And it's just, we're human. This is the
all
human
humans
condition.
Are shitting on themselves.
Yeah.
And it takes practice. But what I can tell you is if you start to work on these automatic negative thoughts and you come up with these, what we're calling turnarounds or reframes, then that can become your new automatic thought. It really can. So instead of another automatic thought is like a label, like I'm stupid. I'm labeling myself. I'm stupid. Yeah. And if you start to become aware of it, and then, no, I'm smart in other areas. Every human is not as smart in every area. So, you can go, well, I'm really intelligent in this way. Maybe not so much in that way, but that's okay. I'm learning to become more a better podcaster. Yeah. I don't know. It's so, I love this subject. How about I give you guys, the listeners, something to do this week? Why not use, in conjunction, Susan's idea of a timer plus my idea of a rubber band, and start to just be aware, like all week, 1 week. When are you saying
start with awareness.
Should? When are you saying should? And just then once your brain starts to notice it, then you can start to do the work on it.
Yeah, I love that, Ruby. Great assignment. Yes,
your assignment from Feel It Alcohol Free Podcast.
Hey, people have been saying that our podcast is helping them get and stay alcohol free, and that's what our purpose is. And that just
makes me feel all good in my heart.
Amazing, yeah. So, Ruby,
yes, Susan.
What do you do to feel lit? I love this part of our podcast.
I do too.
Finding
these
different practices and things that help us feel lit.
I have a really good one, and it's right on topic. Right?
Okay.
And I said, let's not mention this until the end, because it's so, I hope our listeners waited till the end, because this is so fun. It's called I Get To. So whenever you think I should, or I have to, or I need to, Like when you have those kinds of thoughts, you say, I get to. I want you to change it to I get to. And I put it in quotes. So here's an example of what I did. And it's so much fun. So I'm like, oh, I have to do the dishes right now. And see, even when I say it, I'm like, oh, yeah, I don't want to. I don't want to. Right. But then I changed it to, wait a minute, I get to. And what I mean by that is like, I'm alive. I get to look out my window and see for me, it's a beautiful view.
I know. You have a great view.
I bought some nice smelling soap, dish soap. I get to smell, it's like a lemon verbena. I love that. I get to, I try to make it like as fun as possible. So I get to listen to some fun music, or I get to turn on a silly movie and have my iPad near the dishes. Like, I try to get to a place where I really say I get to. And then the final step is I put a Post-it right above where I do dishes and say, I get to do dishes.
Oh, that's great.
And with a big heart. And it just, so you could put I get to Post-its all over your house of the things that you don't really like to do. And it can start to shift your mindset. I get to go to the gym. Like even just that, I get to be alcohol free. Yeah. Right? Instead of, oh, it's going to be a drag to quit drinking, or it's going to be a drag to not drink tonight with my friend. I get to experience this. I want to. Yeah. How about that?
Focusing on the joy of the JOMO. I love that. Yeah. I mean, you can also turn it around to, I gave an assignment to my clients when they do my boot camp, which is to take a day and don't do anything you don't want to do.
I love it.
And just don't do it. But then what happens is you end up, so you don't do the dishes because you don't want to, but then all of a sudden you want to because you don't want the dishes sitting there, right? So then it's kind of how it changes is, oh, I want to do the dishes because I want my sink to be clean. Right. You know what I mean? So and all of a sudden it changes because you're not forcing yourself to do it. You all of a sudden go, oh, I'm sick of looking at those. I want to do this. Or like you said, the mindset shift of, well, there's dishes because we have food and we're so privileged to have food to eat. So
I
get to have food. And so that creates dishes. So then I get to do the dishes because I have the privilege of eating food. I mean, there's just different ways of thinking of things that help change your mindset.
But why you might want to coach is to get you to the I get to, is we dig in also, where did this come from? Where did this come from that I dislike dishes, for example? Where did this come from? And we can do a lot of coaching around where you can just see things so differently. You can see basically a new reality. I don't know. Now maybe I'm going too woo-woo, but it's really cool. This whole reality thing. Yeah.
And what's the point? The point is not, oh gosh, now I do the dishes or now I'm going to the gym. The point is that you feel good in your brain and your body.
It feels good to have a clean kitchen. An organized and clean kitchen feels good. Yeah. If your body has been going to the gym, you feel strong and lit. And like after you work out, those endorphins, like maybe that's what you also like. For me, when I do my ocean plunges, no, it does not feel good in the first 2 or 3 minutes. You are cold. You are like cold pain. But then the dopamine, the endorphins, all these brain chemicals, and you feel amazing. And that happens after you exercise. That happens after you eat the right foods, when you're eating really healthy foods. So all of these things, it's so cool. I love coaching and
I mean, that's the kind of gym that I go to. Is sometimes they start the workout with, this is your time. You are taking away, especially for you. You get to exercise. Your body is strong. You know, there's people that would love to be able to exercise, right? Mm-hmm. And not to be super negative about it, but if your body's moving, you get to lift those heavy weights, or you get to run on the treadmill, or you get to play pickleball. And isn't that in some ways awesome? You know,
by me doing yoga almost every day, I get to move in my body without a lot of pain. And once I realized that, like, it's huge because if I skip yoga for like a week or something, then I feel all those aches and pains again.
Wow.
And all I have to do is simply do yoga almost every day, but I probably do about 5 days a week. And then I just don't feel as much pain. So I have shoulder pain, knee pain, hip pain, ankle pain. It's like as I get older, but yoga keeps it at bay. I found a solution that requires a daily practice or a daily-ish practice. I love that kind of self-compassion.
Yeah. So instead of I should do yoga, I want to do you. I want to do it because it helps me feel in my body the way that I want to feel.
Exactly, Susan. Yeah.
So I'd love to hear from people what they think about this episode and how the shoulds, plague them. And if they've had any success using the awareness technique or using the rubber band technique in just changing it up a little, and then how it's made you feel. Mm-hmm. If it helps you feel lit.
Feel lit.
Yeah.
It's all about feeling lit, you guys.
It's all about feeling lit
for life.
Yeah. And why not? Because this is our one life. Shouldn't we feel as good as possible as we can in our one big, beautiful life, right? Mm-hmm. Stop torturing ourselves and stop shooting all over ourselves. Right?
Yes.
All right. Well, thank you so much for being here. And we'd love for you to join our Facebook group and leave your comments, questions. Let's interact around this shoulding topic in our Facebook community. So there's a link in the show notes, or you can just find us on Facebook at Feel Lit Alcohol Free Podcast. We'd love to have you in our community. We have a big, beautiful group of people there that we get to interact with. We get to
interact with. All right.
Yay. Thanks,
Bye-bye.
everybody. Bye.
Thanks so much for listening to Feel Lit Alcohol Free Podcast. Do you have a question you'd like us to answer on the show?
All you need to do is head over to Apple Podcasts and do 2 simple things. Leave a rating and review telling us what you think of the show. And in that review, ask us any questions you have about breaking free from wine or living an alcohol-free lifestyle.
That's it. Then tune in to hear your question answered live.
And remember, do something today that will help you feel lit.